especially process work, we focus on what's disturbing to the person. So then when somebody comes with, for example, severe criticism, we tend to focus on the critic. But then sometimes it's also important to focus on what's missing. Okay? So the next question is, what is self-love? So self-love, my definitions, so I compile others' definition, but my definition of self-love is a state of appreciation for oneself, and then also regard for one's own well-being and happiness. And then also another one is an ability to recognize your internal needs and negotiate effectively with the external demands. So I like those definitions because it includes both feeling, awareness, and an action. Okay, maybe I should share it again so that you can see it. Okay, feeling like a state of appreciation for oneself, and then also regard for one's own well-being and happiness, and then also awareness and ability to recognize your own internal needs and action and negotiate effectively with external demands. So I think it's really important that to focus on 3 areas like feeling, and then also awareness, and then also action. And process work, in my mind, is very self-loving paradigm, and which many of you would agree. So because process work validates and value one's own inner experience, and then uses it as a guide for action, right? So awareness, and then also an action. So for example, if you're depressed, so we try to find a meaning in depression. Headache, what's the meaning? What's trying to say? What does the headache tries to say? Or in couples work, and if you're turning away, instead of asking the person, okay, you should really confront or face your partner. So we would encourage the person, oh, what is the meaning of turning away? It's a very loving attitude. Or something like really difficult experience like jealousy. Okay, so jealousy is a really difficult experience, but we process worker would say, oh, that's really interesting. That must be meaningful. Let's explore. And you don't have to feel shameful, but this must have some meaning. So it's a very self-loving. And then also believing in innate wisdom. And so then there's, okay, so turning away, there must be some wisdom. So then the message is, you're good. You're wise and you're good. So it has a very self-loving meta skill. And then also paradigm viewpoint. Can I speak 5 more minutes? Is it okay? I'm always afraid of I don't have enough to say, and then I always end up not having enough time. Sorry. So this must be my secondary process. I would like to, I'm like a humble type, and if somebody wants to say, please talk. But once I have microphone, it's really hard for me to let go of my microphone. And so what is inner critic? It's basically a part of you who is critical of you, and a part of you who sends you a message that you're not good enough, right? And that's why they also send you a message with shoulds and should have and must. So there are a lot of shoulds and supposed to's and should have and shouldn't have. And so during this pandemic, self-love is especially important because self-criticism tends to be activated, in the face of a noun.